everybody, it's me again, Kimberly with Live with KC. I have an exciting guest that I want to share with you today, and her name is Gia. She is from Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and she's starting out she figured out what her passion was, and she's going to share with what she's learned and how some of the things that she struggled with, what she did to overcome and change and adjust and adapt and be flexible in order to fulfill her passions and her desires that she wants out of life. Gia, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Good to have you on the show.
I'm so excited to be here.
Now, share with everybody what it is that, how you figured out what your passion was. You know, when did you start thinking about, what is it that you wanted to do, and what sparked inside of you to go after what it is that you're passionate about?
It actually took me, I'm 26 now, and I literally just found out what I wanted to do was about 6 months ago. Probably in June, I came here to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and my mother had always been telling me, you've got a great personality, you're very outgoing, you would do great in the broadcasting industry. And myself had to take my own scenic route, and I had to do things my way. So I went in for education, I went in for psychology, I went in for a bunch of different majors and never really thought about broadcasting. And all of a sudden, I heard a commercial. I think it was either on the radio or something, and it got me thinking. And I was actually, at that time, I was working at a place where I was talking to people about furthering their education. And all of a sudden, it dawned on me, how am I talking to these people about furthering their education when I'm not really doing anything to further and better myself? So I took the step, did some research, looked up Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and got in contact with Stacy, who's the director. And my mom and I went on a tour, and all of a sudden, all she had to do was say, "You want to have some fun?" And we went into the radio studio, and I read a little copy script. I didn't know what it was called at that time. It was just a thing with words on it, and read it, and I had so much fun. And then we came into the TV studio and read off of a teleprompter and literally had the time of my life. Perfect for my personality, because I am so outgoing and I am so, bubbly, and I guess you could say like out there, but in a good way.
Right.
So that's really when I found my passion, and then started in November, just recently graduated. Absolutely am loving every aspect that I'm doing. I actually just got an internship with a talk show, a radio talk show, and can't wait to start that. That actually starts tomorrow. So that'll be really exciting. So I'm starting to get into the whole radio, TV, broadcasting thing. It's still a little nerve-wracking, but hey, you got to do what you love to do, so.
Well, let me ask you this. What are some of the things that you became aware that were really your struggles? That you were struggling in certain areas that you're like, wait a minute. Well, I got to do something about this because this ain't working.
It's actually funny you asked that. I've always had a problem with organization, time management, focusing, staying on one path and just finishing one thing at that time, and not do multiple things and just stick with one thing. And I've always found that to be the most difficult thing for me to do, is work on time management and be organized and focusing and staying on one subject or one thing or one project. Because even when I was going to school here, I was doing numerous things. I was going from radio to TV to doing this to doing that. And I guess it took me a little bit longer to finish, the projects, because I was all over the place. Mm-hmm. And that's how my brain worked. And it was just so chaotic. And I'm just like, I was holding on for dear life. So, because that's how my brain goes. It's like the hamster wheels. They keep going and going and going, and they never stop. So
could it possibly be that your brain, it's a habit that you created, that you programmed for yourself, that you just do it, subconsciously you're doing it, and consciously you're not aware of it? to where until you say, oh, wait a minute, you know, it seems like I'm repeating this pattern.
Yeah, that usually happens to me. Especially like just recently, I'm working on an internet radio show, and I'm trying to work on this internet radio show, but yet I'm trying to do demos at the same time. So even now, I still find myself doing that. And yeah, I do think it's a habit because I've been used to doing this for so long. This has been 26 years in the making. I mean, I've done this my whole life. This is, you know, what I know. This is what I've done. So, you know.
And now, with that being said, and now you're becoming aware, are you starting to catch yourself like, wait, I'm not doing this again?
I actually do catch myself a lot of times, and I'm like, Gia, what are you doing? You need to, like, let's go, focus. And I'll literally have to remind myself that I need to stay on one path and do one thing at one time and not do multiple different things all at the same time. Because I don't do things all at the same time very well. But when I do one thing and I'm focused specifically on that project or that task at hand, I mean, the outcome is crazy. It's like awesome. But when I'm doing multiple things all at the same time, it's like, it's not my best.
Right.
And when I do things, I don't like to do things, you know, kind of, you know, halfway done. I want to do things where I'm putting my whole self and my whole heart into what I'm doing. So I find when I actually do a project, you know, it's better for me when I focus on that one specific task at hand instead of doing multiple things.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Could this be attributed to all aspects between your health, your money, your career, and even love? The habits and stuff that, you know, we actually grew up with, what we saw, what we heard, what we felt growing up, it contributes to all aspects. Would you think that that would be right up there?
Yeah, I really do, because, you know, how you grow up is it takes you into your life. I mean, like I was saying, I used to do this all the time. So now I'm an adult now, and I'm still doing it. It's like the vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle, and it's got to stop with me. Like, I have to stop this vicious cycle. Can't stand it. Don't like it. It's not working for me. So
I guess what you can honestly say is, you know, your inner world creates your outer world.
Right.
So if you don't like what you're seeing or the results that you keep continuously getting, something's got to give, something's got to change, and it starts with the mind.
Yep. Yeah, and I've actually taken a couple different steps on changing my mindset and doing things differently. So it's something that I have to get used to, because I've been doing the same thing, the vicious cycle, the hamster wheels, and just going back and forth and doing everything the way I've been comfortable doing for the last 26 years of my life. I have to start thinking, I guess, outside of the box and doing things differently.
Okay. Well, Gia, I know you got more to share with us on things that you're doing now differently to help you. Right after this, we'll be right back.